Okay, so this part's pretty easy to take out. The 6 bolts there with the 8mm that you take out, and you take out like one piece of carpeting or whatever. It's like super easy to get this thing out. But once you do, you might be wondering, or at least I have, because I've done a few fuel pump installs for people, and there's always a couple things that I wondered why they are the way they are. So Deutschwerks, you know, awesome company, but they send you this little freaking piece that's about 3 inches long, you know? Like, what am I gonna do with that? So you gotta get some submersible fuel hose, and I cut it about 8 inches long. And also why I chose to do this one over other pumps is because it's short. Like it's physically short, just like the stock one. So what that means is it'll actually fit inside this bucket without bottoming out on the top, because on the top, there are these like little plastic things in here, and that kind of, you know, they keep the top of the pump from going too high up. So, but by getting this one, you can actually go put it in without like any modifications. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done here in a second. So basically I put the filter in, then the pump, and then put the hose through this bottom assembly thing, whatever, and just I slid the whole thing down over it. So now you can kind of see exactly what it looks like, and you kind of have to like get those little plastic tabs kind of fit around it just right, and when you do, it will clip in with no modification. So, and in my opinion, that's probably the most convoluted part, is having to clearance everything and whatever. I know the air motive ones, you put like a sleeve around the pump that kind of holds it in place, but this seems to kind of just work out pretty simply. So, and then as you can imagine, you know, you just kind of 180 this hose and stick it on there, and then put this little clamp on and assemble the rest of the stuff, and then call it a day. And that's really how you do a fuel pump for this car. At least I think so. We're gonna see how it works. I think it's gonna be fine. All right, and here's what it looks like assembled. I have this clamp turned to the inside, so it's like out of the way of everything. Yep, no kinks or whatever. It gets close, but it'll flow fuel, no problem. And then these 2 wires, the power wires for the pump, you're gonna have to, at least that's what I did, I just butt spliced them onto a little baby harness that that came with the pump. So just make it where it's not too long, not too short, and then the rest of the stuff, you know, if you've gotten this far, you probably disassembled it yourself. Then you just have to throw the level on and the fuel temp sensor, and you're good to go. That's basically a whole fuel pump install, and that's how we're doing it for this build. So and then of course GTR injectors that we dropped into it, because that's a straight plug and play thing. There's really no need for me to film any of that. It's just too easy to do. So that's it for the fuel system. Super simple.